Hello, I'm Bob Trask. Here is our weekly reset. So glad to have you with me. This weekly reset is where we come together every week to make sure that the next week is going to be even better than this week, as good as this week was. And if we do that every week for a year, that's 52 times that we make each week better than last week. Wow, imagine that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So today, we're going to talk about a subject that I really love. The subject is never, never, never give up. I'm going to ask you this. Do you hear this question in your mind ever? Where are you going? Like there was a time in my life, gosh, it went on for years and years and years, when every time I'd sit down quietly somewhere, this this message would come up in my mind. Where are you going? And I'd become irritated by it. What do you mean? Where am I going? But it was always, where are you going? Where are you going? And it was always like there's this horizon reaching out in front of me, saying, where are you going? Another way of saying that is, what do you want? Where do you want to go? In the Upanishads, which contain the central concepts of Hinduism, is this message. As your desire is, so is your intention. As your intention is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. So to boil that all down, as your desire is, so is your destiny. If in fact you will let your desire become your intention, and if in fact you will let your intention become your will, and if in fact you let your will become your deed, then indeed that becomes your destiny. So I think we can lean on this ancient philosophy pretty strongly, because where we're going has to do with what we want, what we desire. And then what follows is our intention, and then our will, and then our deed, and then our destiny. But it all begins with, what do you want? What do you want? Now, what if you were sitting across from someone? Just imagine for a minute with me. You're sitting across from someone, knees to knees, chairs, open body position. That means your hands, your face up on your lap, eye contact, don't look away. And the other person asks you, what do you want? And what you have to do is answer. You can't ponder, you can't look around in your mind. You just have to answer just quickly, what do you want? And what if the person kept asking that question and kept asking that question and kept asking that question 50 times, 100 times, and you kept answering and answering and answering? What would happen is eventually all of the surface sort of fantasies would go away, and you'd get down to the bottom rock of who you are and what you want. Could you do that? Can you imagine that? I've done this process myself and have guided thousands and thousands of people through it. And what I discovered is that the true answer very seldom comes out at once. In fact, I'm suspicious. If that answer comes out at once, I'm going, yeah, that's not right. But only after having dug so deep we can stop pretending to know what we want and instead start really wanting it. So sometimes I ask it like this: what are you supposed to want? See, that's the first ones that come up. What are you supposed to want? And then when we get a little deeper, then the question is, and please hear this, dear heart, what are you not allowed to want? What are you not allowed to want? Because only when you will allow yourself to want that, I don't care what it is, if you'll allow yourself to want that, that may not be the bottom line, probably isn't the bottom line. But if you'll stop disallowing yourself from wanting that and allow yourself to want that, then your heart opens again and you begin to move again. But as long as you're not allowed to want, you're stuck. You're not going to move forward at all. Well, the topic of today's talk is never, never, ever, ever, ever give up. Give up on what? Never give up on what? Golly moly. I mean, with the thousands of students that I've had around the world, what I've learned is that most people are living shallow lives. No, they may not see them as shallow lives. They're married, they've got a good relationship, they're making good money, they've got a nice house, 2 cars, etc., etc. But the bottom line is, who are you? Underneath all of that, who are you? Get naked. Get down to the skeletal bones of who you are. Who are you? And what does that person want? Because that's you as an eternal spiritual being, isn't it? That's not you as a brain. You came here with a mission to fulfill. And the mission is to be you in your reality, in your truth. And the only way you get there is to follow what you want, your desire. That we're taught a lot of times in by our parents or by our teachers or by our religious leaders, that the right thing is to want and only want what we're told to want. And sometimes that it would be wrong to want. Don't be selfish. Don't be thinking of yourself. It's not about what you want. It's about what the world wants. No, come on. Come on. Like there's 8 billion of us on this planet right now. 8 billion. There's 150 billion that have been here so far. And of that 158 billion people, there's never been another you. Never been your eyes, your eye print, never been your neuronal print in your brain or in your nervous system, never been of your voice, never been your filters, never been you. That means that only you can do what you can do. And you can't do that unique, special thing unless you're what? Allowed to want. So we stuff ourselves deep under the pile of obligation so we can be seen as acceptable by other people. And then we don't fulfill our natural destinies and we don't satisfy the longing in our hearts. The Dalai Lama said, never give up, no matter what's happening. No matter what is going on around you, never give up. That's the master spiritual leader saying that. Well, he could be saying, always want peace in the world and always want to be seen as a loving person. He didn't say that. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up on what? Never give up on being you and doing you. We have individuals each have our own song to sing, our own picture to paint, our own life to live. There's no pattern. There's no formula that fits the 100 billion, 800 billion people that are living on this planet and that have lived on this planet. It doesn't fit anybody. You and I are unique and rare. We're each here to unfold our own magic carpet, not someone else's. Now, wait a minute. You've been reminded of this a jillion times before, haven't you? Every motivational speaker has said, you are a unique individual. Don't let anyone tell you who you are or what your value is. God bless those motivational speakers. And God bless me for having been one of them and for our goodwill. Yes, we've been reminded and reminded and reminded of this. Be you. Do your thing. But has that really changed our lives? Because there's a whole vast difference between listening to someone say that and hearing someone say that. Allowing those truthful words to go into the deepest part of your consciousness and begin to change, not make you different, make you who you are. Take the filters off, take the masks off, allow the real you to come out and play. So those of us who see what we want is sacred, we change the world around us. We'll change the world around us. But you know what? We're going to go through pain in that process. We're going to go through pain, and we can't be afraid of the pain. You know, like, we're going to fail and fail and fail and fail. And failure isn't fatal. Mary, my wife, was telling Gail Wilson, who is our dear sister who's visiting us here today. She was telling her a little while ago about raising Chauncey. And Chauncey was this, I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done right. I want it to be, I don't want to be part way there. I want to be all the way there. That's always, always, always been her. When she was in school, she had to get the best grades and she had to do the best. And one day, for some reason, I don't remember why, she failed a test. She failed a test. She didn't understand what she was supposed to study or something. Anyway, she failed the test. She came home crushed. Mary took her out for ice cream so they could celebrate failing, because she wanted Chauncey to know that failure isn't fatal. She wanted her to know that failure is a part of the process of unfolding yourself. Earl Nightingale, great, wow, what a great man Earl Nightingale was, said, never give up on a dream just because of the time it takes to accomplish it. Time will pass anyway. So let's say that you have this thing that you want. So right now it's early in July. So you say, okay, by the end of this year, 6 months from now, I want this to have happened. I want this to have happened. And I'm going to put my efforts and my time and my consciousness into making that happen. And 3 weeks from now, you're working at this now. 3 weeks from now, the whole thing falls apart. Everything that you thought was going to happen didn't happen. And we give up. Will you give up? Or will you do what Thomas Edison said every time he failed to make a light burn? He said, well, there's another way that doesn't work. Well, there's another way that doesn't work. Not I failed, but I'm getting out of the way those ones that don't work. So what had to change? Did he have to change his laboratory? What did he have to change? He had to change his mind, because his mind was set on, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this glass globe. I'm going to put a filament inside of it. And then I'm going to screw this thing down tight. And then I'm going to say to Igor over there, who's on the battery switch, okay, Igor, go. And Igor hits the switch and the light goes. And he says, well, Igor, there's another one that didn't work. And then he does it again. Now, I'm asking you to have a dream of something that you want, to believe in your dream, because in believing in your dream, you're not only believing in you, you're believing in the universe that created you, the great spirit of life that created you, unique and different and individual as you are, that you come with the ability flowing through you, through the universe, through great spirit, through the holiness of life flowing into you to help you accomplish that which you need to accomplish. Can you do it right away? Well, no, of course not. Why do you live 100 years? Because it takes some time. Earl Nightingale said, never give up on a dream just because of the time it'll take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. So if you say, well, I'm going to do this by the end of the year. I'm going to do this I'm going to have this finished by December. Okay. So I set out to go do this thing. And I have this, I want this. I really want this. And I'm going to do it. And I have a plan. And I put it together. And 2 weeks later, the whole thing just falls apart. And then I say, okay, let's rewire this thing. Let's see, give another shot. And I give another shot and it falls apart again. And then I say, what the hell, I guess it just won't work. I'll go have a beer. Then you don't do anymore. And then the end of December comes by. It's gonna come by anyway. Whether you're moving forward or not, the time will pass. So if we're trying to avoid the pain of failure, we're not paying attention to the beautiful force of nature that's moving through us. We're not being proactive, are we? We're being reactive. We're being victims. We need to stop avoiding pain. We'll often find pain on the progressive path. When I stop letting my fear of pain control me, then I become unstoppable. The first man to run a mile under 4 minutes. Now, a lot of you watching are kids compared to me, but I remember Roger Bannister running 4 minute mile, and what an incredible feat that was. No one will ever run less than 4 minutes. Never, ever happened. He did it. And several people have broken his record since then. But when he did that, and everybody was saying, I don't know how a person does that. And he said this: the one who can drive himself further once the effort gets painful is the one who will win. So if you're trying to avoid pain, don't answer the question, what do you want? Don't answer that question. Just go have another cold beer. Because if you ask and answer that question, you're going to have some pain. And it's okay. It's part of the change of life that we go through. So what do you want? What do you want? I found myself and my work with myself and with others that what I want is not something I can truthfully say. I can't really say it because it really isn't expressible. Please hear me. It really isn't expressible because what you're looking for is not a thing or an accomplishment. It's an experience. It's an experience within yourself of unfolding, of blooming like a flower from a bud. It's the experience. When that experience happens, your life changes. I remember when I first went through this process, wow. I was sitting across from somebody, as I described earlier, and I was open body position, eye to eye contact, and this person saying, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And I'm answering all these questions. What do you want? Ice cream soda. What do you want? Relaxation. What do you want? Sunny day. What do you want? Go swimming. What do you want? Free diving. What do you want? And it's just going on and on and on with what I want. And the questions just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And finally, I was going down layer after layer after layer. And I was at that time, I had been a singer, but I had stopped singing. And what I said, crying, I was sobbing, sobbing. I want people to hear my music, I was saying. And it was wrenching up out of my gut, my gut. Oh my God. I remember the pain. I was about to fall out of the chair. I want people to hear my music. Why? Because I wanted to be famous? Well, that's what I wanted early on in my career. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be the guy everyone would look up to and say, wow, what a hot dog singer he is. But what I really wanted, bottom line, underneath all of that, was for people to hear my song. Now, what I didn't know at the time, and it was going to take me many years of following what I wanted to finally get there. What I finally found out is that my song wasn't something I sing. My song is what's happening right now with you, coming out of my soul, being who I came here to be. This is what I want. This is the experience that I want. To be your brother, to be your guide, to be a step ahead of you on the trail, reaching back with my hand to help you around that stump or around that rock, to help you stay on the trail. That's what I want. That's my job in life. That's my identity. And what I was crying and saying is, I wanted people to hear my music. I want people to hear my music. If you got to the bottom, if you got below all of that stuff, the ice cream sodas and the boat rides and the travel to Italy, and you got past all that stuff down to the bottom. The question is, who are you? It's the same question as what do you want? It's who are you? Who are you really? What do you really want? And I can tell you that if you start in that direction, you're going to fail. I promise you, you're going to fail. And it'll fall apart for you. And then you just never, ever, ever, ever give up. Sam Altman said, tonight we cry, we despair, and we fear. Tomorrow we get back to work trying to build the world we want. So this message is simple. I wasn't wanting to play some kind of external music. I was wanting the experience of being and doing Bob Trask. I don't know if this is my last career. I don't know. I just keep wanting this, and I'm still opening doors and windows to see what else waits for me. Maybe nothing else, maybe a lot more. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's okay. So today, let's you and I contemplate this together. Now, if you're doing okay in your life and you're saying, you know what, I paid my dues. I'm older now. I'm retired. You know, I built my log cabin in the wilderness. I started my business. I worked as a whatever for so many years, and I'm on retirement, and I'm doing fine. And so, I know who you're talking to, but it's not me because I've already done what I wanted. Then my simple question to you, and I don't mean to be rude, is what the hell are you still doing here? What the hell are you still doing here? There's still an energy inside of you. There's still a seed in the soil of your heart wanting to blossom. Dare you find it? Dare you find it? Do you want to paint a picture? Has somewhere inside of you always thought, I wonder if I could be an artist or a sculptor or a writer? Do you have a book to write? Oh, I just know so many people who have books to write. And do they write them? No, they don't ever write them because of all of the reasons there are. It's just, I don't have time. I can't type that well. My hand hurts and I can't write it just goes on and on. There's always the reasons not to. That every one of those reasons is saying, I don't want the pain of failure. I don't want the pain of efforting and not being able to be successful right off the bat. If you're retired, if you're older, this is your time. I'm 85 years old. This is my time. This is your time. Let's get going. This isn't the time to give up. This is the time to get started. What is that seed inside of you that has not yet had an opportunity to sprout and to bloom? Please dare bring it alive, because the world is waiting. Because when you bloom, when you open who you are to your neighbors, to your family, to the people who know you well, they see this change. Now think with me for a minute. They see this change, and it's like you just had stage 4 cancer, and then one day you walked into the house and you were beaming and you said, I'm cancer free. Would you change their lives? Would their lives change? Yes, they would. They'd all go, whoa, and they brighten up. When you start following your dream, doing woodworking, painting, volunteering your services at a hospital, whatever, being in service, whatever that is, you begin to express a joy, a radiance into the world around you. That changes other people's lives. It changes other people's lives. Not only does it change their lives, but it changes the lives of the people they know. because this little pebble of love that you dropped into the pool sends its ripples out and out and out and out. And I'm going to tell you, they never stop. They never stop. I have met people in foreign countries who have come up to me and said, I just want to thank you. I remember people kneeling at my feet. I just want to thank you. You saved my life. You saved my son's life. You and they sometimes they say, you changed my life when you said this thing. And they say this thing that I said, yeah, I don't remember saying that. I don't know what they're talking about. I know. And in Mexico and in Latin America, there's this saying with my picture on it in a lot of places, cambio yo y cambio el mundo. I changed myself, I changed the world. Sounds good. I don't remember saying that, but it's being repeated all over the. You don't need to know what the effect is you're having. You just need to be the effect. So here's the question of the moment. Are you right now completely satisfied with the effect you're having on the world? Are you? If not, then take heart. Truly take heart and let your heart lead you. I want to finish today by quoting our dear friend Marianne Williamson. Because Marianne Williamson, like me, has talked to thousands of people, and then thousands of people have said to her, I want to, but only, I don't think I can. And because, I don't have a high school education, or because I'm overweight, or because I'm a woman in a man's world, or because I'm Black in a Caucasian world, or because. Marianne said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that's within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. The master marketer, Yannick Vase, said, you have three choices now. You have three choices in life. Give up, give in, or give it all you've got. Go forward and know that you are blessed, and you are safe, and you are free, and that you are being loved by this universe, and that you can afford to fail, but you can't afford to give up. I love you. Thanks for being with me today. I hope that you got something from this, and I hope you'll stop by my website, bobtrask.com, and leave a donation to help me keep these resets going and to help me do my work in the world. I appreciate it. And if you can stay with us for a little while, we're going to have a bit of a conversation over the next half hour. If you can't and you need to go, then go and go with my love, and know that I love you and I look forward to seeing you next week.